Coach, I know we got a lot of football to discuss. We'll get to it, but you had a unique thing happen last year when the late Hulk Hogan got to come in and interact, I would guess, with you, some of your players. Could you maybe take us behind the scenes of what that was like, having one of the wrestling icons here in Fayetteville last year?
You know, it was on game day. Hey, great to be with you guys this morning. It was a game day when he came in. I think he was promoting maybe a power drink or something. And in my office in my game day office, there were belts and stuff like that. It kind of helps us a little bit in recruiting, you know. But so when I had the kids come in, he had his belts and some little trophies and stuff like that in my office, because once we went out to the field, obviously he was going to grab them, put them on, and all that. But I didn't get a chance to meet him, but certainly understand the pain that his fans, family, and all that are going through. But I didn't get a chance to meet him.
Yeah, kind of unique that he was here. Well, good to catch up with you again. It was good to see you at SEC Media Days. One of the things that's happened since we spoke down there was this, and I don't know how much time you've had to read through this executive order that President Trump signed yesterday. Give us your take and what you know about it, and maybe how it affects the landscape from your chair.
Well, from what I understand, and I'm not up totally on all that, things change so fast, you know, and this will change too, I'm sure. But from what I'm understanding, they're trying to get it to where all states have the same abilities, whether it be an NIL or whether it be high school. I think, you know, where guys are able to pay high school players, our state certainly is as well. I think they're trying to get it all even, Stephen, where possibly the high school players would not be able to get paid until they certainly enroll and are on your campus. I think that's the biggest part possibly of that.
You and I we were leaving your local media and then walking towards Radio Row, and you and I were talking about transfer portal and kind of what you'd like to see. Can we share that with the audience? Kind of your vision. Coach Calipari did that down in Little Rock at a Rotary Club meeting, and kind of what he'd like to see happen with student athletes' abilities to transfer. What's Sam Pittman's take on where we should land in regards to players' ability to leave one school and go to another?
Well, first of all, I think the timing is the most important. I think before you say how many times you can transfer and all that, I think the timing of the transfer is the most important thing. I think we are crushing bowls right now, team camaraderie for that. We are affecting playoffs right now. You're having to do deals before bowl games and all this because of the portal window opening. Certainly to save the bowls and there's not going to be one time that's going to fit everybody. It just isn't, you know. If you're in the playoffs, it's going to go certainly past January, the early part of January. So I think there's a lot of strength to the January 2 through January 12th portal. I think most schools can. Most schools, not all, will be through with their bowl game, besides the guys in the second level of the playoffs. And then you'll end up having that opportunity to transfer and still get in school, because what we don't want to lose in this is the academic piece of it. We're a university, we're a college, we're an education. Also, you know, football is huge as well, but we're trying to get these guys degrees. And so the more you transfer, the more hours you lose. And you need to be able to get in that new school and have all your hours available to get a good spring semester grade GPA. So January 2 through 12, I believe it will pass. I hope it does. And that, to me, you don't need two portals, you need one.
Yeah.
And that way you can know who you have after spring ball. For the life of me, I don't understand how you can go through spring practice and then have a portal open up and then not know exactly what your team is. To me, spring practice is to find out what you have, find out who you have, and you can certainly do that with a January portal. That's my first take. My second take is, I think unless there's just a different situation, to me, you ought to be able to transfer one time, and that's it. But I don't think we'll ever get down that road again. I think it's going to be a one portal per year. If we go to one portal per year, I think they ought to be able to transfer SEC to SEC, though.
Let's talk about your football team this year. You said at media days you don't have all the answers at places like wide receivers. Still some things that have to be figured out. But what right now do you feel really good about? When you think about your team and put them on the practice field end of next week, what do you feel best about going into this 30 days of practice ahead of game one?
I like our levels of leadership on defense. You know, I think you sit there and you have a leader at D-line in Cam Ball. You have a leader at linebacker in Xavier Sawyer. You have a leader in the back end and Larry Worth. I think there's a lot of value into that. We're a big team. I believe we're in the best shape we've been in a long time at corner and in the back end. We needed to get better there, and I think we certainly have. I like our linebacker group. So that would be right off the bat on defense. I think we've upgraded at tight end. I like our quarterback room from 1 to 4. I like that room, and we're big up front. I think we addressed the edge things that we needed with Shaq and Marion Harris and Corey Robinson. I think we addressed that. I like them. We're big on the inside. I like our offensive line a lot. And then you go to the running backs, I like them. Mike Washington, I think Mike Washington is a really, really good player, along with Rodney Hill and Braylon Russell. So you go to wideout. I love our speed at wideout. Just because people don't know the guy's name does not mean that they're not good players. 2 years ago we brought in Andrew Armstrong and Isaac Tesla. Nobody knew who they were. Nobody knew who they were much at all because they were both Division II players. Andrew Armstrong's a 1,000-yard receiver. Tesla goes in the third round. So just because we don't know exactly who they are in the public, you will because they're good players. They got a lot of speed.
You used that term speed a couple times, Coach. Cam Shanks, Raylan Sharp, C.J. Brown. I know that's an element Coach Petrino used a decade and a half ago, and you're alluding to it a few times. Is there anyone else outside of those three guys that has got some burners to them on the outside?
Oh yeah, I mean we've got you mentioned the two Jalen and CJ the Brown, Mega Blake can run, Andy Jean can run, Antonio Jordan can run, the two slots can run, Sharp and Shanks, they can run, and Mike Washington can fly. And so, yeah, we've got a lot. Tailon Green isn't slow either, so we do have a lot of speed. Let me go back. When I first came here, we were coming off 4-20. It was hard to get, even though, you weren't paying the players at that point. It was very hard to recruit just because we was coming off of 4-20. So we could get fast guys, but they might be smaller. You go out and get speed, but they maybe weren't ready SEC-wise on their size. Things have changed now. We do have speed with size, and that's what this team has now. We're huge at corner, and they can run. So that's what this team has, maybe a little bit different than some of the teams in the past. We have guys that can run that also have the physical stature to play well in the SEC.
Coach, I want to talk about Tailon for a sec. We had Andrew on with us a month or so ago, and he kept preaching Coach Petrino's offense in year two. Tailon's going to flourish. Obviously, you'd love for Andrew to still be on this team, but Taylor got hurt in that Tennessee game, Bush League cheap shot by that defensive tackle, and he just won the same after that. What kind of what kind of production can we see from a fully healthy Tailon Green under you in year 2?
Well, let's go back. You got a guy hurt at Tennessee, 40 yards away. We've been playing football a long time at the University of Arkansas. He was 40 yards away from the all-time total record in the history of Arkansas. So now you look at a guy that's healthy, that now he's quicker in his reads. He's a better thrower. He's a bigger, more physical guy. He's year 2 under Coach Petrino. He has what I think are even more weapons than he had a year ago. He's got a better offensive line in front of him. I think when you talk about turnovers and these things like that, I think understanding the offense better, your reads are quicker. I think you become much better in that, and I think history's shown that in Coach Petrino's second year with the same quarterback. I think the sky's the limit for this guy. I really like him. He's a great leader, and it'll be his senior year, so I certainly think he understands that. At the Manning camp, I think he felt like he matched up really well with the other quarterbacks up there, and he has dreams of playing in the NFL as well. So I think it's going to be a big year for him because of who he is and the athletic ability he has, and we've made it a lot easier for him because we've upgraded on offense to give him more tools to use.
How's Sam Pittman doing? I mean, last year you were, trying to get through this thing with a bum hip and had to put that surgery off. I don't think any of us can fully understand what you had to grind through. How are you doing? And I would imagine you've got to be more energized knowing that you've got that behind you going into this season.
Yeah, it's simple as, getting back to who you are and not concerned about, can I make it from this 40-yard line to the next 40-yard line and not having to rely on a golf cart and all that. It's hard to coach off of a golf cart, getting off the golf cart, all that stuff. It's just not fair. It wasn't a good year physically for me and my mind, but the surgery went great. I feel wonderful. You would too. If you really knew about what we have on the football team, hell, you'd feel good too. Speculation. We know what we have, but that's also helped me feel a little bit better too. But thank you for asking. The surgery went great. I feel wonderful and ready to go.
It's the best pain pill out there, Tommy.
Well, yeah, winning covers a lot of things up, but, including hip pain, I'm sure. But, I don't think any of us, all of us, if we had a problem, a shoulder, a hip, a knee, or whatever, we go in and the doctor puts us on the schedule. Most of our jobs, you just stop what you're doing and do that. I don't think any of us can fully grasp that, hey, in a position you're in, and with the responsibility you got to put something off as important as hip surgery and how that just affects who just how you function. I think that gets overlooked when assessing what happened a year ago.
I think if you put it in this perspective, you never can get off a hip. You can't set off the hip. You can't sleep off the hip. You can't walk off the hip. And so, a knee's a different story. You can sleep with a bum knee and all that, but a hip, you can't. So it's there constantly. If I knew now what the old saying, I wish I would have known, I would have went ahead and had it in July because, by the time I had it, I was walking with a cane in the bowl game. Felt pretty damn good, because we was winning. But if I'd known that, I'd have got it done earlier. But I feel wonderful and got a good staff and a passionate state. Very, very fortunate. So I feel great about that. And I'm the head coach of Arkansas. I feel pretty good about it.
I would imagine Miss Jamie's pretty happy that you got that thing done too. I imagine that was a relief for her as well.
Yeah, I don't think I'm near as gripey and grumpy, but she's had 38 years of it, so what the heck?
She's playing.
Yeah, she's doing good too.
So you've talked about your schedule and what an amazing opportunity it is, but also to the difficulties of it. Where are the places as you plan around and how you're working your practice plans and all that goes into it? Where are the areas that, hey, we got to be healthy and we got to be good at these points? I know it's one game at a time, but what is it about the schedule? Where are the ebbs and flows you see?
Well, again, you think about going to Little Rock and getting back about probably midnight or so, and then have a road game to Ole Miss. You have to figure that out, and then you go to Memphis the next week. So you're really home 1, away 3, and then you come back home and play Notre Dame. So there's that facet of it. Our road games in the SEC, we will play. We found out we're playing Ole Miss at night, so that makes a different. We'll probably play 2 or 3 road games that night. I wish we'd play at night at home. That would be nice. Last time when we played Tennessee at night, our fans helped us. So you have to go through there, but you kind of have to take them one at a time and figure it out. But the 3 being gone 3 of the first 5, normally you wouldn't do that. You'd want to be at home a little bit more, get the crowd energized and get the crowd where they understand and know the team better. With the Portal World, they have to get to know the players, and they're more passionate, obviously, when they know who's on the team. But I do know we played Missouri the last game at night, and I'm glad we're able to get a night game with that one.
Do you like this new setup of finding out at least windows of when the games are going to be played much further in advance than the old way?
I do, and as you well know, the better you are, the more night games you can play, and whether it be home or road, basically the network says, okay, how many people want to watch this game? Okay, well, let's put it at night for them. I like that. We can schedule a little bit more preseason wise. Our schedulers can schedule, and we can figure out our practices a little bit around flex time, nighttime, early morning.
Coach Pittman with us here on the Morning Rush via the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Coach, you referenced the Ole Miss game there, and Tommy asked you about the setup. I remember asking you last year at SEC Media Days, like, sometimes it's hard, I would feel like, as a coach to keep your guys engaged on the first 2 games, being what happened in the offseason with Ole Miss and everything else. Arkansas State's wanted to play Arkansas for half a century, so they're going to be ready for that football game in Little Rock. How do you keep your guys focused just on that game 1? That's the only thing we're focusing on, and then obviously when you move to game 2 and not have them look ahead to Ole Miss in week 3?
Well, competition does that. I mean, everybody's still trying to keep their job. That's competition helps that. Creating competition at practice helps that as well. So that's the biggest thing there. Instead of looking forward and all this, you got to look at the guy that's playing second team on the depth chart. That's where we're at now, to where you have to play well, you have to practice well. We have to worry about us and really not the opponent, and depth usually helps you do that, where you're continuing to have to play well at practice to keep your job, and so that will certainly help us. The Arkansas State game certainly is a big deal. Going over to Little Rock and playing it, first coach that's played Arkansas State, so it's just part of it. But the real thing is the competition that we have. You have to practice well in order to get on the field on Saturday, and that's something that we had, that not necessarily at every spot that we had in the past.
All right, Coach, I know you're busy. Last weekend before camp starts, what's that that final weekend before all of the wildness and the madness and the just it all go by in the blink of an eye. What does the last weekend look like for you?
Yeah, well, we had our last workout before we start this morning, The coaches, we're all still here in the office. So once we leave here, everybody will be able to do whatever they want. For me, I'm going to stay in town, and I want to hear. I've always wanted to hear Kansas, and they're at the AMP, Kansas and 38 Special. So I'm going to go out and listen to them on Saturday night. Of course, the great Bobby Capps is an Arkansas guy that's in the 38 Special band, and do that, and probably have an old cold beer too, and then Monday get ready to roll. The kids will be in Thursday, and Friday we'll start up.
Did it go by fast for you? Because it seems like the season just is the blink of an eye for us. Is it go by quick?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Once you get into a routine, now you're looking at 12 and 14 hours a day on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday's about 12, but it goes fast. And once you get in that routine, you're just so excited to get your team prepared to go out and be on national TV and play before the great state of Arkansas, the fans, each and every Saturday. It's a lot of fun.
All right, 36 days away. We're looking forward to the opener. We appreciate you taking some time for us here today on the Morning Rush.
Appreciate you guys.
BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your sports betting action. And with baseball in full swing and football season right around the corner, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting. From MLB, UFC to tennis and NFL futures, BetOnline remains your choice for sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Head to the website today and take advantage of their industry-leading VIP program with level-up bonuses and weekly cash boosts. BetOnline. The game starts here.